Paralyzed and in a coma, Derek underwent brain surgery, which left him paralyzed on the left side of his body. Today, Derek is a stand-up comedian, and although he's unable to use his left arm and walks with a limp, he still loves his life. So please give a warm welcome to Derek Tennant.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Am I on? There we go. Hey, all right. Wow, you know, Mark Twain said, I wonder how much it would cost to purchase a soap bubble if there was only one in the entire world. I love Mark Twain. Isn't that a clever thought? Like, just the way that his brain worked always, it just intrigues me. But I think about that, and if there was only one soap bubble ever in the history of the world, can you imagine it would be in D.C. in a case that was 6 inches of glass all the way around it? You could get a t-shirt that says, I saw the soap bubble. You know, I'm sure we would have the Bachelor soap bubble edition. You know, I mean, there would be, the soap bubble would be the thing. Can you get there with me? Do you see the value that we would place on a soap bubble if there was only one? Are you guys with me? Give me a yeah. Awesome. Okay, think about that. Now, guess what? There's trillions and trillions of soap bubbles, but there's only one you. Okay, and those 400,000 foster kids in this country, there's only one of every one of them. Those unborn babies, there's only one. Do you see the value you can get your mind around a soap bubble? Oh my gosh, how much more valuable is every life? I love that, man. This is what I know I'm preaching to the choir about, but we got to celebrate that, man. And that's what I want to celebrate today, that we are part of a movement that celebrates the value of every single life. And now you guys are looking at me like I thought this guy was funny. So I'll tell you a little bit about me, all right? My name is Derek Tennant, as you heard. I have 7 shirts. Wow, that took a long time, man. Half of you are looking up here like, I wonder what the other ones say. The rest are like, when did Michael Keaton hurt his leg? She's like, that's who it is. I'm not Batman, okay? But I did walk funny. Look, I'll get it out of the way in the front. You heard a little bit of my story. I always hate those intros because it makes it sound so, I don't know, but it's all on the web, so you can look it up. But I had a brain injury, and I can't use half of my body. But I love my life. You heard that. I do. My favorite part, though, is I get a lot of advice, especially from Christians. You should look on the bright side. Whatever. I look on the right side. I'll say look, you say on the right side. Ready? Look. On the right side. See? Awesome. You guys can do it too. For me, I still can't use my left arm. But friends, I lived in a wheelchair for a long time. We'll talk about that in a minute. I lived in a wheelchair, but I'm not in a wheelchair anymore. That's pretty cool, right? Oh, thank you. That's awesome. I'm actually glad you guys are clapping. Thank you. Yeah. Because I can't. Oh man, do you want that? I could do that the whole time. Think about it. If I want to be the Karate Kid, I only got to wax on. I caught a fish last week. I did. It was this big. As you can see, there's advantages. You just got to look on the right side. You know, like you do the YMCA, all I got is LOL. You guys are starting to loosen up. That's cool. I'm glad. I'm starting to feel it. That's cool. But if I'm being totally honest with you, sometimes I feel left out. But I'm all right. You guys have like a little delay. Is that like an Oregon thing? I don't know, you know. I'm happy to be here, though, man. I'm happy to be in Portland. You know, I've been here. I think Harvey's is the comedy club I've done here. I've been here several times. I have a good time, but I always like to research a place when I'm coming back, so I can make my my little presentation and my jokes, whatever, current, right? So I Googled people that live in Portland. Don't do that. You guys are weird, man. That's all I'm saying. Do you know that the average person here, I Googled it, will walk 928 miles in a year. I don't know. Slow down, Tiger. I don't know what that means. If it's online, you know it's true, right? But they also, and it's not necessarily you, the average person in Portland also drinks 22.1 gallons of alcohol. I know, apparently you guys get like 42 miles to the gallon, man. That is awesome. You're not alcoholics, you're hybrids. And some of you are still nervous that I said alcohol in church. That is awesome, man. So I told you I have 7 shirts and you kind of giggled. Some of you didn't get it. That's cool. Some of you are still trying to figure out what the rest say. I get it. That's cool. 3 years ago, I donated everything in my life, everything I own. I put ads on Craigslist for my bed, my TV, all that stuff. And then when somebody showed up to look at it, I gave it to them. I had prices on it, but I just gave it to them because I'm telling you, man, I'm selfish, and that felt so good to do that. I got rid of everything that I own. Now, all of my earthly possessions fit in that bag right there. And nobody believes me, I know, until the second day that I actually only have 7 shirts. If I see it tomorrow, you'll, oh my God, you really do that? When people say that, I'm like, so you thought I was lying? I'm like, I don't know where that goes. But really, all my possessions fit into a carry-on bag. I travel the world. I have no house. I have no apartment. I love my life, man. People said I was a nomad. I think that's because I'm always happy. Get it? No, I know, that's corny, but I love it. But I get a lot of questions, and I know you may have questions too, and I'm going to stick around. I'll be the last person to leave today. I love connecting with you guys. Questions are, and we'll do a question and answer official with the microphone thing here, or if you write notes, I don't know how it works. But I'll stick around after too. I'd love to talk to you if you have questions. But they crack me up sometimes. You know, I was at a college gig, and a guy goes, dude, how do you know which shirt to wear? I won't tell you what college that was. So, somebody said to me, what do you do when you go somewhere cold? Like, why would I go anywhere cold, man? Telling you, I get a lot of questions. Somebody asked me, this guy was old, he was like 170, right? And he goes, no, seriously, he's not buying any green bananas, you know what I mean? Too much? Is that? You'll get it, give it time. It's a funny joke. Anyways, he came up to after my show. He was the coolest guy. He was a military guy. We were talking. He's like, does your shirts really say that right like that? And I'm like, yeah. And he started giggling. He goes, does your underwear say that too? I know, that's stupid, right? That's stupid, right? My underwear says February, March, April. I'm just serious. Come on, people. So you got to be positive. You got to look on the right side. You know, as a comedian, I take the first 3, 4, 5 minutes and try to figure out the audience, see what kind of stuff they like. I have no idea with you people where I'm supposed to take this. So, but here's what I do know. We can all look on the right side. Friends, we are connected to a movement that involves a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of questions, a lot of anger, a lot of everything. But man, when we are connected to a God that created all of it, loves you, and he's on your team, we got to celebrate that, right? I mean, and everyone's more valuable than a soap bubble, times 1 trillion. You're more valuable. I love that. So I try to look on the right side in all areas of my life. And it works. You don't have to be paralyzed to understand this, right? You know, I've got one of my best friends is blind. And he's like the most positive guy I've ever met. Some of you might know this. I didn't realize it. But if somebody's blind, do you know what happens to their hearing? Like, our body adjusts and it gets better. If you're deaf, your vision gets better because God created us that way, that you get, and I think that's amazing. And it's the same for you and me, but you don't know it until you figure out if there's something, like, for example, you probably didn't know before today that if you're paralyzed on your left side, we can read minds. I can tell you guys don't believe me. Clap if you want me to prove it to you. I'll prove it to you right now. I had a feeling you'd be skeptical. What I did is I made some predictions. I put them in this little red envelope. I can't change them. I'm going to read your minds. It doesn't hurt. You can stay right in your seat. I just want to prove it to you. So we'll start right in the middle, right here, friend with the glasses. Just wave at me so I know you're awesome. Okay, I just got to make sure he's awake. You know, I mean, Now, first of all, just so everybody knows, did you and I get together and set something up beforehand? No, we've never met, right? Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to read your mind. It's very simple. First of all, what's your name? Tom. That's correct. So now look at Tom. He's like, but Tom, would you believe there's people in here that don't believe that I just read your mind? They're skeptical, you know? I mean, I get it, so we'll move on. We'll do another one. Let's go over on this side. You know, look on the right side. Okay, you're just making sure. All right, right here in the glasses also. I'm going to read your mind. Here's what I want you to do. Think of a number, you know, between 1 and 1,000. You know, wait, you're not from Mississippi, are you? No, because then I have to go like 1 to 5. You know? Oh, don't get mad at me, man. Have you ever been to Mississippi? If you're from Mississippi, your family tree is a wreath. I don't care who you are. That's funny, man. These are jokes, people. Okay. So think of a number, any number. You got a number in your head, right? Okay, before you guys even got in this room, actually 2-3 hours ago, I made a prediction. I put it in this envelope. I can't change it. You've got a number in your head right now that you thought of. All I need you to do is be totally honest. Don't try to be funny or whatever. Just look right at me. The number that you're thinking of right now, yes or no, 718, yes or no? No? Oh, man. No, because I made a prediction like 2.5 hours ago, and I put it right in here in this envelope. Come on, I was right on, man. So now I've got 2 people that are like, oh my goodness, that guy can read minds. Some young skeptical people right here in the front row, right? All right, gray shirt. I'm going to read your mind, all right? Here's what I want you to do, friend. I want you to think of somebody famous, okay? But when I say somebody famous, I mean somebody that everybody in this room would know, regardless of, so like a big time, like an actor, your favorite actor. You know what I mean? Like big famous. You got someone in your mind right now? All right, we've never met, and I have a picture of the person she's about to say in the same envelope. This is going to blow you guys away. All right, friend, for the first time, nice and loud, who's your famous person? Taylor Swift. I've never met her before, but for 3 hours there's been a photograph in this envelope of Taylor Swift when she was 3 months old. Right? Now I've got most of you are like, oh my gosh, that guy can read minds, right? It's crazy, isn't it? But there's 23-ish% right now that aren't buying it. And you know who you are, and you know what you just thought. You all just thought the same thing, too. You're like, whatever. What if she said Denzel? Right? Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Jackie Chan got it covered. Don't worry about it. Oh, don't get all sensitive about that, man. It's going to get way worse than that. I'm just serious. You look, friends, laughter is so powerful. We've got to use that. And I want to encourage you to use laughter in the situations that are tough. Cancer, abortion, death. Use laughter. God gave us, it's a gift, psychologically, scientifically, and everything. It's proven that laughter helps you, physically, emotionally, everything. So use laughter whatever chance you get. You know, just watch a movie, whatever. Laughter is so powerful. And it's a great way to look on the right side. Let's say that again. Look. We can do this in all areas of your life. Like, for example, never mind how old I am, but I'm still single. And it's not the funny part. Well, sort of. Anyways, it's not easy. Look, ladies, I love you, okay? There's no doubt in my mind God's greatest creation ever is the woman. Every one of you is beautiful. I mean that, right? No, every one of you. Beautiful, yeah, but you tick me off. Because you all say the same thing. Every single woman says the same thing. I just can't find Mr. Right. Really? How hard is that, you know? Then I finally met a girl. Okay, don't get excited. I met her online. Because if I can do anything, I can swipe right. I like everybody. Okay, that was a generational joke. Only about a third of you got that. You guys know what the internet is? Internet dating's like going to Wendy's thinking your food is going to look like the picture on the menu. That's just a fact, man. You should have known that was an old picture by the Camaro in the background, right? And her phone number, help me out, was 8675. Okay, now that's the other generation. I just had to bring everybody together now. I just wanted to like... So it's not easy being single, that's all I'm saying. You know what I need? What's that phrase? It goes righty-tighty, lefty, Lucy. Who's she? I need to meet her. Lefty Lucy. That's like my You Complete Me, my Jerry Maguire, right? So if anybody knows Lefty Lucy, let me know. That's a new joke, sorry. I'm working on that one. But you got to be positive. You got to look on the right side. And we all have troubles in our life. We all have minor troubles in our life. We all have big troubles in our life. God is on your team, man. We can look on the right side. I did meet a girl. I'll tell you just quickly about that. I met a girl. It was weird. She was weird, okay? It's the internet, you know. You do the email thing, and then she says, I have an hourglass figure. What am I, Dean Martin? Does anybody talk like this? And I don't know what it meant until she got there. She did. It was just a lot later than she thought it was. I don't care who you are. That's funny, man. These are jokes. She's not real. And you email and all that, and eventually you meet, right? So I get to her house. First time we're going to meet, we're going to go to Starbucks, because that's like the thing you do. You know, you go and you talk, whatever. So I get to the door, I knock on the door. She's like, hi, are you Derek? I said, yes, I am. Can you walk my dog? Thank you. That doesn't make any sense, right? Ladies, that can't be the second question. Right? When we just met, you guys know this. What's the second question? Like, where are you from, right? You know, how long have you lived here? How did you find lastresort.com? Something. But she was cute, so I'm like, yeah, I'll walk your dog, weirdo. Gets worse. It was a Chihuahua. Thank you. A dude doesn't walk a Chihuahua, right? Are you with, am I sensing some tension? Does somebody in here have a Chihuahua? No, you do not have 4 Chihuahuas.
That scary dog.
Are you asking me what kind of dog you have?
No.
She goes, I have 4 Chihuahuas, one of those big scary ones.
Lab mix.
Lab is not scary. You do not have a pit bull.
Well, he's a mix.
She's a mix of a lab and a pit bull, and you have 4 Chihuahuas.
Yeah.
Holy Lord. Well, you might know this then. Do you realize that a Chihuahua can kill a pit bull? Did you know that? Yeah, it gets caught in the throat. It's like... Okay, that one was too far. I'm sorry. The point is, I gotta walk Taco Bell, right? I just met this girl. This is when I lived in Philadelphia. I actually had a house and everything, right? You know, and of course I run into my buddy walking his German Shepherd, and he's like, "Nice dog, Derek." I'm like, "It's not mine, but there's nothing I can do, right?" He goes, "Hey man, you want to grab an ice cream? Because there's this little awesome ice cream shop we'd go to." I said, "Yeah." I go, "I'll be right back. I'm gonna get rid of the dog. Now stay with me. These are the people I hang out with." He goes, "Nah, man." He goes, "I do this all the time." I'm like, what are you talking about? So check it out. My friends, all right? These are the people I hang out with. He's got a German Shepherd on a leash, right? He just throws on a pair of sunglasses. Oh no? Oh yes. He walks into the ice cream shop with a German Shepherd and sunglasses. They think he's blind. He orders an ice cream cone. They give it to him for free. I had no idea. Blind people, free ice cream in Pennsylvania, man. That would be awesome, right? So I'm outside with Taco Bell, right? I'm like, no way. This lady's like, good thing you went to a 3D movie that day. I said, can I get a chocolate shake? Sir, we don't serve people with animals. It's like, dude, it's my seeing eye dog. A Chihuahua is a seeing eye dog. So I said, what? They gave me a chihuahua? That's called looking on the right side. You like that? Listen, friends, I'm so excited to be here. There's nothing I'm as passionate in my life about as I am about life. Okay, that's all forms of life. I love, somebody said it recently, I don't remember who I was listening, where when someone walks into an abortion, that's 2 lives going in there, right? You know, and I'm not saying in one comes out on that, but I'm saying every life matters, and we got to remember that, and we got to celebrate that, and we are blessed with a creator who loves you. He made everything, and he's on your team. That's huge, and I love him. And there's lots of words. I study words, and I like words. And one of the words in our little world is choice. And a lot of times it has a negative connotation to us. Friends, choice, I'm a motivational speaker. I do business meetings and all stuff all over. And choice is an awesome word because when you make wise choices, you're heading in the right direction. So I don't want us to have choice as a bad word. So I'm going to use that the whole time I'm up here. Choice. And obviously I like the other word. What is it? Every one of you missed that. It's not the left choice, it's the right choice. Never mind, all right. You're done with those jokes, right? I can swim, but only in circles. Come on, people. So here's what I want to do. I want to talk about some right choices, okay, that we can make. Because, friends, you know, I'm so excited because when I got here this morning, I had been praying about and working on what I was going to talk about for a long time now. Because this has been set up for a long time. And I get what I think is perfect and exactly what I needed to say. And then God told me something else, right? You know, this morning. I'm not making this up. And I came in and I listened to Josh this morning. Was anybody here early in the morning or the first session? Raise your hand if you were here. You guys are troopers, man. Thanks for hanging out and being here all the time. But that session was awesome, and I love the way, and I never met Josh, right? You know, but I'm hearing about the value that he placed on someone who's pro-choice and their knowledge and their decisions and their way of thinking. You know, and then I came in later for another session and heard about, you know, not making them a project or the enemy and not making this a war. And that's kind of what I thought like I was supposed to talk about, but I was making a real soft way of talking about that because I'm like, I don't want to upset anyone, whatever. You know, and then I heard him talking about that and doing it from a way that involves knowledge and truth and confidence and love. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, this is what I think I was supposed to do, but I was resisting. So I want to talk about ways that we can have that type of attitude towards somebody who happens to not believe the way that you do. I'm going to be honest with you, it's really hard for me not to see them as a project or the competition. Can you relate to that? Okay, that's not what we're supposed to do. Did Jesus do that with people who were sinners? No, they weren't his competition. He loved them just as much as he loved you, just as much as he loved Billy Graham. That's our Jesus, and that's who we're supposed to emulate. So I want to talk about some right choices that we can make. And the first choice is obvious because we're Christians, right? Love, that word love. So I wrote it 3 times because it's so important. Love, love, love. I talk about love all the time. If you're my age, when you hear love, you think about REO Speedwagon and the couple skate at the roller rink. Remember that? You know, the first time you held, woo! Not that kind of love. I heard a great definition of love earlier. My definition of love, this kind of love that I want to talk about, is putting somebody else's needs in front of your own needs. And that sounds nice and get like amen, right? But that's not easy to do, man. You know, think about that, putting somebody else's needs in front of your own needs. It sounds great. It sounds like something you hear in a sermon, and you're supposed to be like, yeah, and all that. But that is next to impossible to do. Who taught you when you were a kid how to be selfish? Nobody. We're like professionals right out of the gate, right? Like who taught you how to smack your little sister? We don't need any training in that, and we're great at it, right? These are the things that we are born awesome at. We are not good at putting others' needs in front of our own. That's really, really hard to do. But I'm telling you, man, it's how you can click on all cylinders. And unless you think this is Derekology, I've studied this in my entire adult life. I've gone to colleges and pastors and studied under things. I want to figure out what this love is. And I'll tell you why. I believe the Bible is true. Raise your hand if you agree with that, okay? I thought I might be at a friendly crowd here to say that, okay? But listen, you just said you believe the Bible's true. Paul, who wrote most of the New Testament, I wish I had time to talk about Paul, I don't. We're going to move a little quickly here. Paul wrote in Galatians, one of my favorite chapters, Galatians chapter 5, and I'm going to read this. I'm going to talk about the second half of verse 6, because the first half talks about circumcision. I don't want to talk about that. If you don't know what that means, don't ask somebody else, But here's the thing, I'll tell you why he's talking, because Paul was talking to a church in Galatia, and they were arguing over things that now we would say, you have to have pews, not chairs, or you have to dunk, you can't sprinkle, or you can't, this is what churches divide over, right? And in Paul's time, one of those issues was circumcision. So he's talking about that, saying, people, listen, all those rules and that law and all that stuff you're arguing about, none of that, this is in the Bible, friends, okay? Paul says the only thing that counts, okay, if that's in the Bible that you just said you believe, I want to know the next part of that sentence. The only thing that counts, that's huge, is faith expressing itself through what? Love. That's in the Bible, friends. Paul says the only thing that counts. I want to figure that out. He says that the secret to contentment is his in any and every situation. Does that include a pregnancy that you didn't expect? It does. It included for him getting killed. Okay? We have the secret to contentment in any situation, and it's right there. And how much does it cost you? The price has been paid, man. Jesus paid. It was very expensive, but Jesus paid it for you. And we have direct, amen, that's right. We have direct free access to that love. That's what Paul, now let's not stop there because you're a Christian. Who do you follow? Christ. Let's look at what Jesus says, the red letters. You guys know only teachers and Jesus can write in red, right? My favorite story in the Bible is one you've heard 1,000 times. I'm going to try to say it really quick. But when Jesus was tested, because people wanted him out of the way, they were about the rules. 612 laws, they each have 2 parts. I follow every one of them. I'm a great person. I give my offering. These are the people in Jesus' time. And Jesus had a different message. They hated him. They want him gone. So what their story was is, let's ask him what the greatest law is. Because the laws, and you can't understand this in this world now, but if you went against one of those laws, you could be killed for that. So he said, he's going to tell us which law is greatest. We'll say, yeah, but what about number 318? That's blasphemy. Put him in jail and we'll kill him. That sounds crazy right now, but that was a great plan back then. Unless you're trying to trick Jesus. Right? He's my Jesus. I love him for so many reasons, and this story illustrates a lot of them. So they do this. They say, master, teacher, we love you. What's the greatest rule? They think they got him caught, right? Jesus doesn't hesitate. One other thing I love about him, he says, the greatest law, it's love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And I could see these guys like, crap. Oops, probably another word I shouldn't have said in here, right? You're not going to trick Jesus, okay? What's the greatest law? And Jesus said what? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And this is one of the reasons I love my Jesus. He wasn't done. They asked him for one law, the greatest law. The next thing he says, red letters, he goes, and the second one, they didn't ask him for 2. I love that. He's like, you want to trick me? I'll give you 2. And what's the second one? Thank you. Love your neighbor as yourself. Read in the Bible later who your neighbor is, and it's the Samaritan, which for you would be like the pro-choice person. Do you understand that? The Samaritan was the enemy, was the project, was the other thing. And that's who Jesus said, not Derek, was our neighbor. That's what we're supposed to do. And then, listen, friends, the next words from Jesus' mouth, red letters, he says, everything else hangs on these 2 things. Friends, I'm done. Okay? As a Christian in my life, I want to follow Christ. He said, love God, love your neighbor, that's it. Will you guys say that with me? Love God, love your neighbor, that's it. Say it again like you mean it. Love God, love your neighbor, that's it. That's every sermon you ever need to hear. That's everything we need to understand in this movement. Friends, that's Jesus. Love God, love your neighbor. Everything else hangs on. That's what I want to be. That's who I want to emulate, and that's what I want to do. I want to learn about this kind of love. And I want to be a guy that makes other people think about this. I'm not great at it, but I want to be. And I've studied it, and I've tried to learn, and I want to become a person that does this and everything. Nothing has taught me more about this type of love than my family. I'm blessed, okay? I'm one of 4 kids. Second born, you probably could guess. And I've got 3 siblings. One of my siblings well, all of them are awesome. One of my siblings is amazing. If you met her, she's beautiful, she's funny, she's successful, she owns her own business. She lights up a room. Everybody knows my sister, right? Like my name to a lot of people is, oh, that's Julie's brother. But I'm okay with it because my sister is that beautiful. The best part of that is Julie's here. Would you like to meet my beautiful sister? Hey, Jewel. This is my beautiful sister, Julie. We were talking about some things about today and this week, and we get a chance to share our love and our passion for this world, and she wrote down some thoughts. And we got this brand new iPad thing. Isn't that cool? We got that on Amazon.
Hands-free.
Hands-free, you know. I only got one. That's why I get the Taco Bell microphone.
Taco Bell.
Did you just do a Taco Bell joke?
Hang on. I put it on.
Did you put it on?
Hello.
There we are. It's working.
You try that again. Chico Taco Bell.
Taco Bell? Whopper. All right, you going to read your thoughts?
All right. Hi. Whoa. Hi, my name is Julie Tennant, and I am Derek's sister. Obviously, I am smarter and better looking and funnier than he is.
She writes her own talks, by the way. I'm not arguing.
I have Down syndrome, and I love my life. Down syndrome means I have an extra chromosome that nobody my family has.
Julie brags that she got a chromosome that I didn't get. But shut up, you don't have it either.
My grandpa called it a love chromosome, and my grandpa is awesome. My grandpa is very smart.
But he's awesome too, yeah. That works too, awesome.
Okay. He said when people make fun of me, they are missing something, not me.
That's claps from a bunch of people that are missing something.
It is so very cool to have Down syndrome, and I like being different. Today we are all.
You got it.
Today we are talking about the value of all life. Sometimes when a woman gets pregnant, she can have a test to see if her baby will have Down syndrome, like me. Some people say that I'm not crying.
That's all right. That made him clap too. Where are you? You got it.
Right. Some people say that kind of baby scares me, and I want an abortion. That makes me very sad. Abortion means you take a baby out of the mommy before they even get a chance to play, laugh, or anything. Remember, every single baby is awesome. Even Down syndrome babies are awesome, right? Down syndrome also means slow to learn, but that's not bad as long as you're learning something, right?
Right.
Everybody is slow in some things. Like Derek is slow with the ladies. That's why he's still single.
Don't encourage her. It won't stop.
You see, to be slow is okay. So is being different, or I don't know, single?
Hey, you're single too.
No kidding. And besides, I'd rather be slow to learn than slow to love.
Isn't that cool? Well, now you got to tell them about your t-shirt company. Julie had a job. Real quickly, Julie had a job. The place went out of business. She couldn't find another job, so you did what?
I made out T-shirts.
Some of which you have here, right? What if they want to get one? What can they
You
do?
can come to my table out there when we're done.
And how much are they?
$20.
And what are you doing with the money?
And give 5 to this program here
Yeah.
that I can't pronounce.
Yeah. Remember we went with the letters.
I can't remember the letters.
ORTL, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, she's giving it, so yeah, that one, you know. She's on with the mission, maybe not the name, you know, it's just.
It takes me time. That's why I'm slow.
Julie's got some of her shirts here. You can come by and get one afterwards. She has a brand new shirt, and I know you're not supposed to be on your phones while you're in a session. This was released last night at midnight. Nobody owns any of these shirts yet. It's brand new. It sums up everything that is the message that we promote. Just check that out. Just love, right? She said 2 months ago, she goes, I want to do a shirt that says just love. And she's like, she did that like shrug. So she did. So if you go on to right now, juliescoolshirts.com on your phone, you can buy one of those shirts. And both of them come in either color. The green is why?
My grandpa fought in the army.
Our grandpa was in World War II, so that makes her think of him.
And that too.
And the orange is why?
SU colors.
We're from
I live in
Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse.
So those are 2 colors you can get that shirt for. So go ahead and get one. And also $5 from every one of those will go right to, who is it? O-R-T-L.
O-R-T-L.
That's right.
I almost
Yep.
said TC.
I don't know who that is, but don't give them any money. Sorry, I interrupted you. So you were talking about your shirts. That's why. So wherever you are.
Here. You know my favorite.
No, I don't. Am I gonna?
I am so glad to be here. Wait, I am so glad to be here with my awesome friends in Oregon. We get to hang out, eat good food,
We love food.
laugh, and celebrate our life. Now that's just cool, man.
Which is one of her other shirts you can get over there. Cool, man. That's one of her other shirts.
I think all babies and even old people like you guys are awesome. All of you are so very special and awesome. To love every person is special and awesome. Even people Even people who think about, no, not about.
Yeah.
No, even people who think abortion is okay are still love-worthy, right?
You're saying that, but we got to live it, people.
Yeah, what he said. All right, love means to smile at people and make them feel good. You can't see love, but you can show love.
Isn't that awesome? She
That's
writes
my
this stuff.
favorite line.
What's that? Oh, that's your favorite line? Say it again, then.
Say it again.
She's also funnier than me. Did we go over that?
You can't see love, but you can show love.
Isn't that awesome?
Love is so powerful, especially with people who think differently than you. Thank you so much for coming today and letting me and Derek too. And now just one more thing. You can't have the love chromosome like me, but I love my life and you can too.
Few things in life are better than being Julie's brother. Man, if you want to learn, friends, how to do what we all just said, yeah, to, and love somebody, even if they're pro-choice, and genuinely love that person, you need to learn love, love, love. This kind of love that Jesus told us is the answer to everything. He said, Jesus, red letters, love God, love your neighbor, that's it. I'm telling you, friends, I'm a simple guy. I can focus on that. Simple doesn't mean easy. Simple means simple, and I can do that. I'm going to move quickly here. Let's look through. Oh, by the way, her shirts. That's how I was supposed to show you her shirts there. Right choice number 2. I want you to do something. I want you to invest in you. I'm not asking for money. Okay, you see that word invest in a church and everybody gets nervous, you know. Let me tell you how you can invest in you besides a box of cheap cereal. Friends, think about the most generous person you've ever met in your life. There's no way I could know who you're thinking about, but I would bet my life that that person is happy. Okay, that's not Derekology. That's just truth. I call this selfish generosity because if you do it right, friends, you are going to be clicking on all in cylinders and you're going to feel a joy that only God can provide by creating you as a being that functions best when you're generous. Okay? I want to tell you a quick story. Remember the story about Christy and that illustrates this. So that cereal I bought 4 years ago driving from Atlanta to Syracuse with my other sister. Twice a year I fly down there and drive her and her kids up to visit our folks because I don't have a job. So I can do that, you know. And I'm no martyr. It's a blast. We have the best time ever. So 4 or 5 years ago, whenever it was, we stop and Christy says, our sister says, let's get a cereal picnic because we love cereal. And we're like, yeah, cereal picnic. And I'm like, yeah, cereal picnic. It'll be awesome. But we get off the exit and the only thing there is a Dollar General. And it's not one of the good ones, you know what I mean? And the kids are like, Fruity Pebbles. They don't have Fruity Pebbles. What do they have? Doesn't that sound like something you get in the Amazon when...
Contagious.
Got those Fruity Bites. So we got a box of Fruity Bites, some milk, some paper bowls, and plastic spoons. And we go out to the picnic table to have a cereal picnic. There's no picnic table. There's no table. There's no chairs. Do you think we care? No, we're the tenants. That's my nephew, Charlie. Check out Kelly. Now, before you call Child Protective Services, look at the smile on her face. Look at the smile on my face. Look at all those smiles as I eat my cereal off a trash can, friends. In my pajamas, we are having a cereal picnic, and it is a blast, okay? Except at this point, my sister's like, all right, no more pictures. Do you see your vision? What I didn't know is, you see that red van pulling up there? I had no idea when I took this selfie. This van's going to pull up, and this sweet woman, I'm going to guess she was 75 years old, gets out of this red van and starts walking up to the front door of the Dollar General, right? And she gives us money. Friends, let me tell you what happens when you choose to be generous. It's going to give you joy. It's going to give the recipient joy, and it's going to give the world joy. And that's not Derekology. Listen to what happened. So she comes up to my sister and puts money in her hand. I'm dying, right? You know, she squeezes her hand, and she's like, it's okay, I'm your friend. This woman is so sweet. I hope I meet her one day. And my sister says, oh, sweetie, thank you. She's like, it's okay, I'm your friend. My name's Alice. I'm your friend. And she would not let go of that money in my sister's hand, right? And my sister, I promise you, has more money than this sweet woman had. And I'm the big brother, right? And I got to help, so I go over to help out. I get within 5 feet, and milk is pouring out of my nose. I can't. So we got the money, okay? But listen to the point. So do you think that it made Alice happy to help this obviously homeless family in their pajamas? I guarantee you she remembers the day she helped this poor family eating cereal off a trash can in their pajamas in Virginia. You know, I promise you it gave her joy. My sister and I laughed for 300 miles with tears in our eyes. We had so much joy from this. We get to Pennsylvania, and we're still laughing, and we're taking pictures and trying to tell the folks. And the kids go, what's so funny? They didn't even know. There was 4 of them. They're like, what is so funny? They wouldn't even tell them because we were just laughing. So we tell them, and check this out. Generosity gives you joy, gives the recipient joy, even if they're pro-life. And it gives pro-choice, definitely if they're pro-life. And it gives the world joy, okay? So we as a family, after the kids found out what happened, we decided we would use that money and give it to a guy in Pennsylvania that really needed it. We think. Maybe he's in Salem tonight, like this crazy family in pajamas gave me money in Pennsylvania. Friends, I have told this story without exaggeration to tens of thousands of people. Every one of them felt that joy that you just felt for the last 5 minutes. Why? Because Alice chose to invest in herself by being generous. Friends, you don't have to have money to be generous. Do you understand that? Sometimes it's a word. Sometimes it's not saying a word. Sometimes it's a hug. Julie's got the best hugs, and are they free this time?
Yes.
Sometimes she tells everyone they're free, you know. You can be generous, and I'm telling you, friends, it's not easy, but that goes for people that are pro-choice, or people that are on the other side, or the enemy, or whatever we think, because that's the way we've been conditioned. That's not who they are. They're somebody to love. They're just as love-worthy as you and me. Okay, so you need to love, love, love. You need to invest. Let's look at another key to doing this, right? Choice number 3 is the focus on obstacles as opportunities. This is a very motivational speakery thing to say. Obstacles are opportunities, right? But they are. This is a truth. I didn't make this up. Every obstacle in your life is an opportunity. You don't always know what the opportunity is, and that makes it tough. But think about any time you grew in your life or something that made you a better person. I would be willing to bet there was something difficult that got you to that point. The bigger the obstacle, the bigger the opportunity. I'll tell you a story that illustrates this. Again, this isn't me making this up. This is just the truth. I can't think of a bigger obstacle in a life than a pregnancy at a time that was not expected, not wanted, not chosen. That changes everything. So you can, and we know this because that's why we have the other side, right? That's why people are choosing it, because that's the easy way out. Or that seems like, well, I'm just doing it to help the, whatever. That exists because this situation, this obstacle, I can't imagine a bigger one. But there's definitely no bigger opportunity than a life, right? I mean, there's no bigger, I love that. And we have the opportunity to celebrate that, to encourage others to do that, and to help them to make that choice. Yes, that choice. So this kid, 10 years old, had his arm amputated from a car accident. Okay, I can relate to this kid because mine's here, but it doesn't work. He wanted to do sports. I didn't share much of my story, but I played basketball professionally after I got hurt over in the Philippines, and I played in Mexico and whatever. And I'd love to share my story later with you. I just don't want to take the time here. But sports, big part of my life. This kid wants to do sports. Somebody tells him he can do judo with one arm. I don't know anything about judo. But he takes lessons because he had a good attitude. And the master teaches him just one move over and over and over and over. He's like, "Master, why am I learning one?" "Trust me," says the master. Kid's like, "All right," he had a good attitude. Then the master puts him in the competition for judo, right? The kid's like, "Dude, I got 3 months experience. You've only taught me one move and I have no left arm." And the master says, "Trust me, son." All right, the kid goes in, thinks he's going to lose, and he wins the first round. He wins the second and the third. He just keeps winning. He gets to the championship match of this whole judo competition. He's got to fight a guy that's never lost. He's scared. "Master, this guy..." Master says, "Trust me, son." Kid goes in, longest match of the whole tournament, and he wins. Nobody can figure it out. You can imagine, right? It's all done. He's in the locker room. He says, "Master, I don't get it. These people have done it their whole life. I have 3 months. You only taught me one move, and I have no left arm." And the master looks right at him. He says, "Son, I taught you that move for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's the most effective move in all of judo. And number 2, the only defense against that move is to grab your opponent's left arm." This is what we're doing in our lives, friends, and in our ministry. We're looking for, man, if I had a little bit more money, if I was married, if I get a house, if I can get my kid to stop doing it, then I'd be happy. I'd be right with you, God. I got it. But as soon as I get there, then I'm going to get there. I'm not blaming you for those thoughts. I have those thoughts every day. All I'm telling you, friends, is we have a master, and he's saying one thing. He's saying, "Trust me, son." He's got to figure it out. You're in the middle of a situation that feels like you're judo with one arm. Your master is on your team, and he's saying, "Trust me." Obstacles, friends, are opportunities, even a pregnancy. And there's no bigger opportunity than that. And hear me, I'm talking about death. I'm talking about cancer. I'm talking about big stuff. I don't understand God. I don't know why he allows things. But our job is not to understand God. If God was small enough to be understood, he wouldn't be big enough to be worshiped. Right? I mean, that's our job is to trust him. You can clap for that. That's awesome. I just write that down. Our job is to trust him, to love, 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 invest in yourselves, and focus, friends, on obstacles as opportunities, whether it's a pregnancy or something in your family, I don't know. But they're opportunities, and you got to have that attitude. And when you do this, friends, I'm telling you, you're functioning on all cylinders. I keep putting the remote in a different spot. I can't. All right, let's move along. Okay, right choice number 4. This is new because I told you I changed my whole talk. You need to equalize. Friends, we do things in this world, and I'm 1,000% pro-life. I'm not embarrassed about that. I'm proud of that, and there's nothing, right? I mean, I'm not looking for applause, but thank you. I know you are too, and that's awesome. But it's hard to love sometimes in this mission, because how could you kill a baby? Right? How could you that's not a choice, that's a lie. I get it. I want to just tell people, your mom was pro-life. Right? I mean, but that's not what we're called to do. We're called to love. Jesus said, love God, love your neighbor. You're done. Okay? And I've been listening to Josh, and he's talking about equalizing you and the person you're talking about and making yourselves, and not accusing or saying words that are going to spark at them like you do with your brother or sister, you know what I mean? Like, not doing that, but loving that person. It's so hard to do, but we got to do it, friends, and it's the way that ministry genuinely happens. I found this little graphic said, who said that everybody was equal? And the reason that somebody made that graphic has nothing to do with what I want to talk about, but I want you to do something for me, and I want you to think about somebody in your world right now that you could genuinely, I would almost say hate. If you've been abused, or if it's somebody that is, coming against you and blocking your ministry, whatever. I mean, we've all got people in our lives that genuinely, just looking at the raw, you could hate that person, and they deserve the, you guys with me? I want you to think about that person right now and close your eyes. This is going to get weird for a second, but stay with me, please. Close your eyes, picture that person. I want you to picture that person just standing there in front of you, okay? Your feelings are justified. Don't feel guilt. I want you to feel everything you're feeling for this person. Now, stay with me. I want you to picture their hair falling out. Some of you are like, he's already bald. Okay, well, we're not going to kill him, okay? Stay with me. Picture that person. Live or dead, doesn't matter. Picture that person. Their hair fell out. Now I want you to picture, this is weird. Stay with me. You'll understand in a second. Now I want you to picture that person, it's kind of weird, but their skin is kind of melting away. And you can kind of see their bones and their muscles. Stay with me. Keep visualizing this. Now you can see their muscles actually have just disintegrated. Now their bones just disintegrated. All their inside, everything just turned to dust and it's gone. What are you looking at? There's nothing there, right? Okay, open your eyes. What you're looking at is their soul. And guess what? It looks exactly the same as yours. It looks the same as Billy Graham's. It looks the same as, Saddam Hussein, if you're my age, whatever, but I don't know. This is the way that Jesus sees you, friends. And that's really hard to get your mind around. To see somebody not for the stuff that's on the outside, the tattoos, the anger, the voice, the words, the choice, all this stuff. That's hard for humans to do. But it's the way that Jesus sees you. And trust me, you got a lot of stuff too. And so do I. Okay, Jesus sees you not for any of that. It's really hard for a human brain to get around. But that's what he does for us. And that's how much he loves. You could never have any stuff that would make him be like, I did love you, but never. It's never going to happen. I don't know what you've done, what you've said, how many, it doesn't matter. None of it. He loves you just as much as every pastor and every preacher and Paul, whatever. That's our Jesus. Do you guys see that? And that's what we're called to emulate. So that means everybody. This is not condemnation. This is celebration, man, that we have an opportunity to worship somebody who does that and has modeled that perfectly to his death for us. This is what we're called to do, friends. I want us to think about these things that we talked about, of how we can do this. I know it's not easy. And it makes me wonder that what would happen if we did these things. If we did these things that we've talked about, the right choices. If we love, 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 love. If we invest in you by being generous. If we face obstacles as opportunities. If we equalize with the other side, what happens? What do we get? We get life, friends. And that's our goal in this whole thing. I am so blessed to be here and to celebrate you guys. The energy that's been in this whole place this whole time. My opportunity to be a small part of it and just seeing your guys' mission. But friends, I can't say it enough. Our job is to love. This is crazy, but that pro-choice person who's screaming at you saying you're stupid and you don't understand science, all this stuff, you got to love him or her just as much as that unborn baby that you're fighting for. That's not me making these rules. This is what we're called to do. And when you do it, you're functioning on all cylinders, and you're doing it in a way that God calls us. Hey, Jewel, let's tell them this story. Friends, thank you so much for letting us. Remember this one?
That's me in the striped shirt.
That's Julie in the striped shirt. I want to tell you a story. But actually, before I do this, let me pray. I just feel like I need to pray right now, okay? Let's pray really quick, okay? Father, I just thank you for the way that you love us. I thank you for freedom, man, that we can get together in a country and do this. And I thank you so much for this group of people in this small area that came out to celebrate life and our opportunity to love the way that Jesus, you modeled for us. I pray that you give us that wisdom and remember that every life, even that other side or whatever we call it, is more important than a bubble. And we are so blessed to be a part of loving the way that you modeled for us. Thank you for that. In your name, amen. All right, friends, I'm going to wrap up with this. I want to go, and obviously we don't have time for, well, I don't know if I'll stick around if you do the microphone question and answer. A few minutes for questions, and then I'll be out there, buy a shirt, buy 10 shirts, whatever. We'll answer 2 questions per shirt. How about that? No, I'm just kidding. But let me tell you this story. My company's called 14 Sleeves. Live simply, love completely. That's what I try to do. Sometimes I think I have wisdom. I suggest my parents have wisdom. Let me tell you what wisdom is. Jewel, let's tell them about this story. So what was Dad doing there?
Reading devotions.
Yeah, so when we were kids, there was 4 of us, and my dad would, every night, or just about every night, he would read a Bible story or one of those Arch books. Do you remember those? Aren't they cool? Yeah, I love those. And then there would be questions and answers. So one night, I don't know if it's this night, but I love that picture. Dad read the story of Noah's Ark. A lot of us know this story, right? Great story, Noah's Ark. And then he starts reading questions. Julie, I think, was like 3 years old in this picture. And Dad says, who built the giant boat? Julie.
Jesus.
She goes, Jesus. She was 3, right? My dad reads, we all giggle. My dad reads another. He says, how many animals are on the giant boat? Julie.
Jesus.
She goes, Jesus. Friends, we need wisdom. Let me tell you what wisdom is. That night, my mom actually said to my dad, poor Julie. She thinks Jesus is the answer to everything. Guys, thank you so much for letting us be a small part of this amazing time that you guys are doing.